You trust the police to keep you safe, but what if some of them were actually hiding a dark secret?
Was it Kelly? Yeah, right now you're charged with murder. And it is Kelly. No!
Here are 5 chilling examples of when cops tried to hide their crimes. This first case is a puzzling case involving police corruption and a surprising twist. In this case, the truth remained hidden for decades, shrouded in deceit and manipulation. The third case involved one of the best police detectives, adding an unexpected twist to the narrative.
Now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
The story begins with the murder of Sherry Rasmussen, a case that went cold for 23 years. Despite suspicions of a burglary gone wrong, the investigation hit a dead end. However, new evidence emerged, pointing towards Stephanie Lazarus, a successful detective herself. Stephanie was one of the finest detectives, having achieved several accomplishments during her service. Her expertise and commendable track record added a layer of complexity to the case, as her involvement in the investigation raised questions about conflicts of interest and potential biases.
I don't want to talk about this in the squadron because I don't know who people are listening. And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing.
No problem.
Okay.
As the investigation intensified, detectives found themselves navigating the delicate balance between unraveling the truth and confronting one of their own. The news that Stephanie had become a suspect shocked the law enforcement community. This challenged long-held assumptions and raised doubts about the integrity of the police force. Despite the difficulties posed by Stephanie's status as a respected colleague, the pursuit of justice remained the top priority. Detectives delved deeper into the complex web of clues and motives surrounding Sherry's murder. The detectives meticulously planned every aspect of the interrogation, fully aware of the high stakes involved in confronting one of their own. Their strategy was carefully crafted to navigate the delicate balance between uncovering the truth and confronting Stephanie Lazarus, a respected colleague and expert detective. Approaching Stephanie under the guise of seeking her expertise on a confidential case, the detectives sought to maintain a facade of normalcy while secretly probing her involvement in the murder of Sherry Rasmussen. Their intention was to catch Stephanie off guard and elicit candid responses. However, as the interrogation progressed, Stephanie's anxiety became palpable, betraying her internal turmoil. Her demeanor shifted, revealing subtle signs of discomfort and unease, which raised suspicions among the detectives. Stephanie's mounting anxiety served as a telltale sign of her guilt, adding weight to the growing evidence against her. Despite her attempts to maintain composure, Stephanie's facade began to crumble under the relentless scrutiny of the detectives. With each passing moment, the pressure intensified, pushing Stephanie closer to the brink of confession. The detectives' meticulous planning and astute observation skills proved instrumental in unraveling the truth behind Sherry Rasmussen's murder. Their unwavering commitment to justice ensured that no stone was left unturned in their pursuit of the truth, ultimately leading to Stephanie's downfall. During the investigation, detectives scrutinized Stephanie's relationship with John Ritton, Sherry's husband, suspecting a potential motive for the murder. Despite Stephanie's attempts to maintain composure, her defensiveness and unease were evident to the detectives, raising suspicions about her involvement in the crime.
Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about?
It's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were good friends. Lived in the dorms for 2 years.
Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated. You know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
When pressed for DNA evidence, Stephanie initially hesitated, reluctant to provide the requested samples. However, under pressure from the detectives, she reluctantly complied, unaware that this pivotal decision would ultimately seal her fate and provide damning evidence against her in the case.
And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, you know, I got a problem with that.
Okay.
Okay? So, you know, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, you know, now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
Obviously, you know about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, you know, gets done on cases nowadays. You know, if we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Months later, following a grueling trial marked by intense scrutiny, Stephanie faced the consequences of her actions as the jury delivered a verdict of guilt for Sherry's murder. The culmination of the trial brought to light decades of deception and manipulation orchestrated by Stephanie. The verdict not only provided closure to a long-standing mystery, but also served as a stark reminder that justice, though delayed, cannot be denied. Despite the complexities and challenges encountered throughout the investigation, truth prevailed in the end, holding the guilty accountable for their crimes.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
This case stands as a testament to the resilience of the justice system and its unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth, regardless of the obstacles faced along the way. The resolution of this case offered solace to those affected by Sherry's tragic death and reaffirmed the importance of upholding justice in society. If you found that case really intriguing defying the odds of the law, let's explore another distressing case that sheds light on the flaws within the legal system. The case of Matthew Boynton unfolds as a confusing and unjust investigation, stemming from an alleged shooting that, upon closer examination, never actually occurred. The incident started with a shooting report, but as the investigation continued, discrepancies emerged, casting doubt on its authenticity. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, authorities pursued Matthew Boynton as a suspect, entangling him in a web of accusations and suspicions.
You know you can't give a sworn statement and lie on it. Why would you do that, Matthew?
The case was built on shaky ground, with inconsistencies and contradictions clouding the truth, leading Matthew into a legal quagmire. On April 15, 2016, police arrived at Jessica Boynton's home to find her in the closet, seemingly with a gunshot wound to her head and a police-issued firearm in her hand. Surprisingly, the county sheriff pronounced her dead at the scene. However, the shocking twist emerged. Jessica was neither dead nor shot. After being rushed to the hospital, doctors discovered no signs of gunshot wounds, but evidence of a blunt force attack to the back of her head. The mystery deepened when Matthew, Jessica's husband, claimed to have received a text from her about suicide. Upon returning home, Matthew allegedly heard gunshots and alerted the police. Yet inconsistencies arose during his interrogation, notably regarding a crucial piece of evidence: a bag.
Do you recognize that bag? Yes, that bag that Jessica let me use to put all my gym stuff in when we used to be together. Okay, so when's the last time you saw that bag? It's been a long time. Like I said, when I used to work out at, there's two gyms in Thomaston. I don't remember the name of it. I used that one, and I had a gray Nike bag I used to work out in. So I interchanged my stuff like protein drinks, powder shakes like pre-workout, workout shorts, pants, shoes, whatever. I put it in that bag or my Nike bag.
Matthew's tendency to provide excessive detail and elaborate explanations during questioning suggested that he might be trying to conceal the truth, which is a tactic often used by suspects attempting to appear convincing to law enforcement. Despite Matthew's efforts to construct a full story, the detectives maintained a sense of doubt, recognizing the inconsistencies in his account as warning signs.
So when's the last time you saw that bag? I mean, it's been a while. Like, I don't know an exact date. I don't know. I think my stepdad, he had it in the white trailer, and that's been a while. And he brought it, but I haven't been through it or anything. Put it in my storage thing in my house, which is like when you pull in the driveway. Mm-hmm. It's a little storage thing on the right. You open the door and it's got all my stuff in there. I declared that some of it out recently. That was tossed in there, but I mean, it's in there with a bunch of my stuff, like a brown tub I used to keep in my old patrol car with gym stuff in it and work stuff.
This case exemplifies the intricate and demanding nature of law enforcement work when confronted with deception and manipulation. Throughout the interrogation, the detectives became increasingly suspicious of Matthew's responses, particularly in relation to a bag that was discovered in his possession. When questioned about the bag, Matthew's response was convoluted and evasive, raising suspicions among the detectives.
All right, Matthew, known you a long time. When y'all were in the process of moving and you moved into the house that you're at now, your residence, did you or did you not see this bag?
Yes, sir. It's in my storage room in the garage.
Now, why would I be holding a picture of this bag?
I guess because Jessica brought it into you.
Why would Jessica have it if you had it at your house?
I don't know. I guess somebody got it from my garage or my shed.
Who would have gotten
it? There's a couple of people. Okay. I don't know
all right.
exactly who.
The bag was completely filled with female clothes. And this is one photo of it. That's not yours.
No.
His inability to provide a straightforward answer suggested dishonesty. Detectives recognized this inconsistency as a crucial point of interest in the investigation, indicating potential deception on Matthew's part. Confronted with the detective's scrutiny regarding the bag, Matthew stumbled over his words, unable to provide a satisfactory explanation. His demeanor betrayed signs of discomfort, further implicating himself in the unfolding mystery. The detective's astute observation and interrogation tactics highlighted the significance of the bag as a pivotal piece of evidence in unraveling the truth behind Jessica's ordeal. The discovery of the bag filled with Jessica's belongings directly contradicted Matthew's statement that he had handed over all her possessions. This revelation confirmed that he had lied under oath, raising serious doubts about the truthfulness of his previous statements to the police.
The bag was turned into us. We have possession of the bag. We have evidence that says it came out of your storage room. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir.
Do you believe that statement to be accurate and true?
Not now.
Did you believe it then?
No, sir.
Confronted with evidence of his deception, Matthew eventually confessed to stealing the bag. However, the mystery of why he did it remained unanswered. Moreover, the assault on Jessica, who was found unconscious in their closet, was never fully investigated. Matthew faced charges of theft and perjury, leading to his resignation from the police force. Despite facing charges of theft and perjury, Matthew was not charged with murder. This decision raised eyebrows and fueled speculation about the influence of police corruption in the case. It was noted that the county sheriff, who happened to be Matthew's grandfather, played a pivotal role. The sheriff's involvement raised concerns, particularly given his false testimony about Jessica's death in court. This blatant display of police corruption cast a shadow over the entire investigation, leading many to question the integrity of the judicial process and the fairness of the outcome. Furthermore, although Jessica survived the ordeal, the trauma she endured resulted in complete amnesia regarding the events of that fateful night. The loss of her memory erased any potential clues or recollections that could have aided in resolving the case. With Jessica unable to provide any insight into the events leading up to the incident, the case remained shrouded in mystery and ultimately unsolved. The third case is something more unlawful, involving William Tully's actions in May 2019. It started with a troubling call to the authorities, reporting a heated altercation between William Tully, a former police sergeant, and his girlfriend, Kelly Levinson. The situation took a dangerous turn when Tully resorted to violence, firing shots at Kelly during the argument. In a panic, Tully fled the scene in Kelly's truck, leaving everyone deeply concerned for Kelly's safety as the echoes of gunfire faded into the night.
So I don't know anything since then.
So nobody's here has been injured?
No, that's what I told him when I called. He told me that he wasn't over.
As the police rushed to the scene, they were met with a chilling sight. Signs of a violent struggle scattered throughout the house. But the scene grew even more ominous when they entered the kitchen and discovered Kelly's lifeless body lying on the floor. The gravity of the situation hit them hard. It was clear that something terrible had happened. Amidst the chaos, suspicion quickly fell upon William Tully, a former police sergeant. The evidence seemed to point directly at him, raising alarm bells among the investigating officers. Tully's background in law enforcement and SWAT tactics only added to their concerns. Catching him would be no easy feat. Just when it seemed like the case might hit a dead end, a glimmer of hope emerged. News arrived that Tully had been involved in a car crash. The police wasted no time and rushed to the hospital, where they found him injured but alive.
We're gonna take care of you now.
2419.
This unexpected turn of events provided them with a crucial opportunity, a chance to bring Tully in for questioning and unravel the truth behind Kelly's tragic demise. After the accident, William was rushed to the hospital for treatment. Without wasting any time, the police swiftly arrived at the hospital to begin their investigation. Once William was cleared by the health authorities, the police wasted no time in questioning him about the events leading up to the incident.
Can I ask what my charges are? Yeah, right now you're charged with murder. You're charged with violation of oath of office, and you're charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. That's what we're hoping you can tell us. Maybe once we start talking about it a little bit, It wasn't Becky, was it? Was it Kelly? Well, was it a cop?
During questioning, William mentioned two names, Becky and Kelly. This revelation added a layer of complexity to the case. While Kelly was initially believed to be his girlfriend, it emerged that William was, in fact, married to another woman named Rebecca, Becky Talley, whom he had been cheating on. William's demeanor during questioning was perplexing. Despite his recent hospitalization, he exhibited signs of agitation and reluctance to cooperate with the investigators. His behavior left the detectives puzzled, unsure whether his distress stemmed from genuine remorse or if it was merely a facade to conceal his guilt.
And you can sign this. Nobody's talking with me about things. Well, we're going to get to that. That's what we're hoping to get to. No, I'm not talking until somebody talks to me. I can tell you who, if we can get started there. And it is Kelly. No! Don't do that. No! No! Tally, come on. Tally. Bill. Bill. No! No!
The ambiguity surrounding William's emotions further deepened the mystery of the case. Was his apparent distress a result of genuine grief over Kelly's death, or was it driven by the fear of facing the consequences of his actions? The answer remained elusive, adding another layer of intrigue to the investigation. It is conceivable that William's apparent distress following Kelly's tragic death may be genuine. However, given his substantial background in law enforcement, which includes specialized training from SWAT programs, it seems more likely that his outward expression of grief is a facade to mask his authentic feelings. Based on his background and expertise, it's highly probable that William is currently grappling with an intense wave of frustration and anger. It's quite likely that he is feeling resentful about being apprehended so quickly, especially considering his in-depth understanding of police procedures and tactics. Given his training, he possesses the capabilities to elude capture, so his rapid apprehension is likely causing him a great deal of aggravation and humiliation. Beneath the outward appearance of distress, it is probable that William is experiencing a complex blend of emotions including anger, regret, and fear. Despite appearing to express grief following Kelly's passing, his genuine sentiments probably center around the dismantling of the facade he meticulously maintained and the potential repercussions of his decisions.
Here, let me get you some napkins. Bill. Bill, no. Stop, Bill. Relax. Bill, stop.
It's all unnecessary, Bill. If you don't want to talk to us, that's fine, but let's not do this, okay? Okay? Just let's not do this.
Who else to hurt?
Right now you're hurting yourself.
I don't care about me.
Well,
who else to hurt?
There's no one else.
I keep hearing people whisper. Or whispers.
Okay, well, what whispering do you hear?
No, tell me the truth.
Okay, there's no one else hurt, okay?
As the interrogation continues, William struggles to maintain his composure. He briefly calms down when talking to the detective, but his agitation quickly returns. It's evident that he's desperate to find a way out of this situation, even though the evidence against him is mounting. After a tense interrogation, William finally requests a lawyer, a move that brings a sense of relief to the police. With William's request, the focus shifts to building a strong case against him. However, the lingering question persists. What were the motives that drove William to commit such a heinous act? The handling of this case was meticulous and thorough. With strong evidence against him, William Talley faced a fair trial. The justice system ensured accountability, and William was ultimately sentenced to life imprisonment for his actions, bringing closure to the tragic events surrounding Kelly Levinson's death. Now let's delve into another gripping case, one involving none other than the renowned rapper DaBaby, known by his real name, Jonathan Cook. It all began in January 2020 at a bustling Miami nightclub where Cook was set to perform. However, things took a dark turn when the club owner failed to fulfill his financial obligations, paying Cook only a fraction, merely 20% of the hefty $30,000 owed. Incensed by this apparent betrayal, Cook allegedly erupted into violence, purportedly assaulting the owner with repeated blows, while his entourage joined in, escalating the altercation to a violent crescendo. The victim, left battered and robbed, bore the brunt of Kirk's fury. Despite the chaotic scene, the dimly lit CCTV cameras managed to capture glimpses of the harrowing assault, though the footage remained frustratingly blurry. In the aftermath, Kirk swiftly fled the scene in a sleek black SUV, leaving behind a trail of chaos and confusion. However, his brief respite was short-lived as fate intervened in the form of law enforcement. Hours later, Kirk returned to his hotel, only to be met with an unwelcome reception. Police officers poised to take him into custody. Despite his initial bravado, Kirk found himself thrust into the harsh spotlight of interrogation, where he faced a barrage of probing questions from the detectives.
What's your full name?
We just want to get it from you. This is just a formality. Just tell, name, your date of birth, and all that stuff.
In a bold move, Kirk opted to exercise his right to remain silent, steadfastly refusing to divulge any information. Confident in his abilities, he chose to forego legal counsel, convinced he could navigate the treacherous waters of interrogation alone. However, his calculated silence posed a formidable challenge for the detectives, who found themselves stymied by Kirk's deliberate evasion tactics. Undeterred by Kirk's reticence, the detectives persisted in their quest for truth, painstakingly piecing together fragments of evidence amidst a backdrop of reluctance and obfuscation.
An incident occurred at the hotel, 1500 Southwest First Avenue, that you were there for, correct?
What incident?
An incident. You had an altercation with somebody?
No.
You didn't? Did you have a business dealing with somebody?
No.
You didn't?
No.
So somebody didn't bring you $20,000 in front of the hotel in your SUV?
No.
They didn't?
No.
Okay.
Somebody bring $20,000 that wasn't theirs and lied to them and told them that it was for an event of theirs on the 31st. And lied to them. That person, once he realized they was doing bad business, said nah and left with his $20,000.
Okay, so you didn't count?
And got my contact information to do business the right way. That's what happened. The people that got y'all put me in handcuffs, they the crooks. They the criminals. That's what I'm telling you, bro.
Okay, so you didn't count $20,000? Did you count $20,000 in your SUV?
No, I did.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Around what time was this, sir?
I don't know. Whatever time they chose it.
So you're saying that you weren't.
Whatever time the camera showed me not robbing no damn body.
Yet, despite the hurdles posed by Kirk's unwillingness to cooperate, the investigation pressed forward, driven by an unwavering determination to uncover the elusive truth lurking beneath the surface. Kirk remains adamant that he wasn't involved in any robbery and asserts that the detectives are focused on the wrong issue. He repeatedly emphasizes that he had no part in any robbery and challenges the detectives to provide evidence linking him to such a crime. In his interactions with the detectives, Kirk skillfully deflects inquiries regarding his whereabouts and mode of transportation to the hotel, asserting that such details hold no relevance to the matter under investigation. Rather than engaging with these peripheral aspects, he directs the focus towards what he perceives as the crux of the issue: his adamant denial of involvement in the purported robbery. By shifting the conversation in this manner, Kirk strategically steers the interrogation towards exonerating himself from the accusations leveled against him, showcasing his adeptness at controlling the narrative to align with his defense strategy.
Common sense. You know what I made to even be down here? A promoter booked me at that hotel. I didn't pay to be at the hotel. I was paid for. You'd have let me on my room, you would have saw close to $250,000 cash, legally, hard-earned money. I don't got to take nothing from nobody, bro.
Well, let me ask you this.
I will go outside here right now and throw $10,000 in the air. Like, I do not care about no money. I don't, bro.
Was there an argument?
No, it was an argument. I didn't argue with a soul. My voice was never raised. There was never aggressive language from me. None of that.
Was there a fight?
None of that. No, I ain't seen no fight. And nothing's taken. We shouldn't be in no robbery, bro. So when y'all get done doing what y'all doing, y'all need to do y'all job. Y'all need to follow y'all process. And y'all need to arrest whoever gave y'all these false allegations, bro.
Kirk portrays himself as a victim of false allegations and accuses the detectives of being muzzled by someone who is already a proven liar. He maintains that the detectives have no substantial evidence against him and suggests that they are wasting their time by questioning him. Despite the detectives' efforts to gather information and piece together the events of that night, Kirk remains defiant and refuses to cooperate further. He is determined to assert his innocence and challenge the accusations against him, even in the absence of legal counsel.
When I encountered you in the hotel, you came back to the concierge, the counter. Yeah. Where were you coming from at that point?
Prime seafood.
Prime,
whatever the hell I went to eat. I went to get some food.
Where is that?
I don't remember.
You don't know?
No.
How'd you get there?
In the car.
What kind of car? Was it a car you drove? Somebody else drove?
Uber.
Uber?
Yeah.
What kind of car was it?
Uber.
Small car, SUV, truck, what?
I don't know. Let's talk about what matters. Let's talk about what y'all need to get me about this stuff. When I'm driving in the car, what I went to go eat, what time I went, that don't have nothing to do with the fact I ain't robbed a damn soul. Me, nobody around me, ain't nobody robbing nobody.
Let's take the word robbery out of the picture.
So while we here, we taking the word robbery out of the picture. Y'all are robbery detectives. This is robbery unit. That's the second word he said. That's the second word he said when he came in. Robbery. Come on, bro.
Okay, listen.
He told me he asked to question me about a robbery when I walked in my hotel. Robbery? I had every answer to the question you needed right there. Whoa, that ain't it. That's false. Okay. Throw that out the window. We talking about robbery, bro. It's nothing for me to talk about. I didn't rob.
So do you think that we just woke up this morning and decided to just...
I think y'all got a phone call from somebody that's already a liar. I know they're a liar. Got a phone call from somebody that's a liar and y'all bought it. Y'all believed it. Y'all got me in here and y'all put me in handcuffs. Brought me outside the hotel in handcuffs, cameras and shit all on me. Come on, bro. This shit is bad for what I got going on. And I ain't even do shit to that, man.
In demonstrating a calculated approach to the interrogation, Kirk strategically navigates the interaction with the detectives, aiming to retain control of the narrative and safeguard his reputation, despite the detectives' persistent attempts to implicate him. Throughout the interrogation, Kirk displays a resolute defiance, steadfastly maintaining his innocence and refusing to succumb to the detectives' pressure tactics. Instead, he remains unwavering in his focus on what he deems to be the critical aspects of the discussion, effectively shaping the direction of the interrogation to align with his strategic objectives. This intricate interplay between law enforcement and the suspect underscores the complexity of the situation, highlighting Kirk's deliberate efforts to control the narrative and protect his interests amidst investigative scrutiny.
When I do business, it's legally binding. It's legally binding. Everything I do, you have to sign a contract. You got to sign a contract.
Okay,
it's a contract right now.
The whole incident happened and nothing went wrong. Nothing happened. There was no...
Not to my knowledge.
There was no fight. There was no scuffle. There was no...
I ain't fighting nobody. Bottom line. That should be high I am. I ain't fight nobody. I ain't take nothing from nobody. And the only two questions is that I should even be getting asked from.
So why would someone say that you did?
You gotta bring him in here, ask him that. Bring him in here. But it don't matter. Regardless of what y'all got going on, see, this is why you do business the right way, which is not the way they was doing it. His name's on the contract, bro. So I'm gonna sue him anyway.
What was his name?
I'm gonna sue him anyways. Whoever y'all talking to. Whoever you tell me his name.
Who'd you sign a contract with?
Well, I don't sign the contracts. I'm the performer. I don't sign the contracts.
So your management team signs the contract?
Yes.
Who in your management team signed a contract with who? They don't tell you who
we don't sign the contracts. We draw them up. I just told you he signed the contract.
So who's he?
Let me know, bro, when y'all done with the mind game questions, bro. I don't have time for that. Whoever made the report.
There's no mind.
Whoever made the report. Whoever made the report, bro. Y'all don't gotta act like y'all know best than what y'all know. Whoever made the report. But y'all know it's too much y'all know too many lies. You get what I'm saying? That's why y'all gotta move backwards like that, bro. Like,
you're saying that they're lies, but you don't know what we have or don't have.
Okay. I know if y'all had proof of me robbing somebody, we wouldn't even be talking. Y'all would have cuffed me. I would be charged with it. That's what I know, bro. That's what I know.
Kirk's decision not to request legal counsel, despite being aware of his rights, reveals a strategic calculation rooted in his belief in his ability to handle the situation autonomously. However, this choice also exposes him to unforeseen risks, as navigating the interrogation without legal representation could lead to unintended consequences, amplifying the complexity of his predicament. Throughout the interrogation, Kirk deftly maneuvers the narrative, skillfully redirecting the focus away from potentially incriminating inquiries and toward what he perceives as pivotal details. By tactically challenging the detective's assertions and steadfastly asserting his innocence, Kirk effectively maintains a sense of control over the interrogation process, strategically shaping the dialogue to align with his narrative.
I ain't know
your side of the story.
My side of the story is I ain't done that. I don't have a side of the story because I ain't done nothing to nobody.
So that's what I was
and before something could be done to me,
happened, right?
and before something could be done to me, I realized I was dealing with bad business. And I
Why do you say it was bad business?
What?
Why do you say it was bad business?
I already told y'all that. You want to rewind this? You know why, bro? I already told y'all, bro. My story not gonna come out different no matter how many times I say it, bro. It's not, bro. It's right here. So you press stop and rewind and play, I'm gonna hear. Why I said it was bad business, bro. Come on, bro. There's nothing blowing my phone up. I was say, oh, man, he needed my help for his event. He already was in deep water because he's already doing, and I see why. He's already doing bad business. You see what I'm saying? He has an event that wasn't gonna go as planned. He needed me to make up for that. He needed me to cover his ass, so he brought in another person, lied to him, swindled him. He thinking he coming to book me for a whole different event, and they tricking him, got him paying me to come do a walk through the night. Come on, bro. He niggas full of shit. Man, up on me trying to help send y'all on a wild goose hunt to see who that is. And matter of fact, check them cameras. Y'all got crime scene investigation unit out there. Check the cameras. See him meet up with somebody else in the lobby. Ask him, hey, who's that? Ask him. Follow up on what I'm telling y'all.
That's what we're trying to do.
At the end of the day, I would expect people to act on common sense anyway.
Recognizing that further questioning wouldn't yield results, the detectives opt to temporarily leave Kirk alone in the interrogation room. It's a tactic often employed to let the suspects stew in their thoughts, hoping that the solitude will heighten their anxiety and prompt them to reveal more information. However, Kirk's reaction catches them off guard. Instead of appearing agitated or contemplative, he calmly closes his eyes and falls asleep, giving the impression that he's unconcerned about the situation at hand. Meanwhile, the detectives turn their attention to Kirk's hotel room possessions. As the main suspect in their investigation, Kirk would likely be held in jail while they continue gathering evidence. But dealing with his belongings poses a logistical challenge. Kirk adamantly refuses to allow the detectives to handle his possessions, insisting that the hotel staff manage them instead. This complicates matters for the investigators, leaving them puzzled about how to proceed. Ultimately, after 48 hours, the baby is released from custody, while Kirk walks free 2 months later when all charges against him are dismissed. Despite facing potential prison time, hefty fines, and assault charges, the authorities recognize the need for more evidence to secure a conviction. With the blocked security tape serving as their only lead, the investigation into Kirk's alleged crimes remains unresolved. The fifth case involves Savannah, who had gone missing. In the case of Lee, the police were suspicious that he might have harmed his co-worker Savannah. The authorities were desperate to locate Savannah, recognizing the severity of her disappearance. They understood that their interrogation of Lee was crucial. It could be their only chance to uncover vital information leading to Savannah's whereabouts. Lee thought he was clever and hoped that no one would find out about Savannah's disappearance. However, his efforts to hide the truth were not successful. Suspicion arose when Savannah's family received strange messages saying she was leaving her job out of the blue. Additionally, security footage showed Savannah getting into a car similar to Lee's just before she went missing. These compelling pieces of evidence led to Lee's arrest, as investigators believed he might have played a role in Savannah's disappearance. When the detectives first questioned Lee, they pretended to be conducting a routine inquiry about a driving incident. Lee thought he had managed to avoid suspicion, but as the interrogation progressed, it became clear that his assumption was unfounded. The detectives gradually uncovered the truth, revealing Lee's role in Savannah's disappearance as his facade began to crumble under scrutiny.
You can go ahead and have a seat for me real quick. I'll be right back, okay?
Yes, sir.
You need a water or anything?
I'll take some water.
Water? Okay, yep, give me 1 second.
Lee sits in the interrogation room, his nerves palpable as he anxiously awaits the detective's return. With each passing minute, the weight of the situation feels heavier, and doubt begins to gnaw at his confidence. Despite his attempts to remain composed, the uncertainty looms large, casting a shadow over his thoughts. As the door swings open and the detective strides into the room, Lee's heart skips a beat. His worst fears are realized when he recognizes the familiar face of the detective who had questioned him about Savannah's disappearance just 3 days earlier. Suddenly, any hope that this encounter might be unrelated evaporates, replaced by a sinking feeling of dread. Panic sets in as Lee realizes the gravity of the situation. The detective's presence serves as a stark reminder that he is firmly ensnared in the web of suspicion surrounding Savannah's disappearance. With a sense of foreboding, Lee braces himself for the impending interrogation, knowing that his carefully constructed facade may soon crumble under the scrutiny of the detective's relentless questioning.
All right. So, Savannah, you said that you knew her and you guys had, you knew her from work. I mean, just kind of fill me in with that. How long have you known her?
Like I said, I've known her obviously since you started working there. I would say probably about 8 months ago or so, we started hanging out outside of work. And at the time I had a girlfriend. But I kind of, we kind of connected, me and Savannah. So we hung out a little bit here and there. Got pretty close. We come from, I guess, somewhat similar backgrounds, I guess.
Lee provided a detailed response to the detective's question, recounting his acquaintance with Savannah from their workplace approximately 8 months ago. Despite initially having a girlfriend, Lee and Savannah developed a friendship outside of work due to their shared backgrounds. They spent about 2 to 3 months hanging out, during which Savannah's drug use escalated. Lee admitted to experimenting with drugs with her initially, but distanced himself when her usage intensified. However, they reconnected about a month ago when Lee noticed Savannah looking healthier after a hospitalization for drug-related issues. They resumed spending time together, watching movies and drinking beer. In his eagerness to provide context, Lee inadvertently divulged more information than necessary, falling into the detective's trap of oversharing under pressure.
Hung out for a little while. I'd probably say a period of 2-3 months.
Okay.
And then she started using drugs a lot.
Okay.
Now, I used them with her, not the same drugs that she used all the time, but I did them with her a couple times, and then she started to get heavy into them. And
oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I kind of just tried to take a step back and put things off, and started kind of chit-chatting again.
Okay. And who's that? What's her name?
Her name's Chelsea.
Okay.
So we kind of started chit-chatting again. Never really 100% because obviously, she was still kind of upset about me hanging out with Savannah and stuff like that. And then probably a month or so ago, I saw Savannah at work and she looked healthy again. She gained a little bit of weight and just friendly talk at work, telling her hope everything's been good. And she told me, that I guess she did a lot of drugs, ended up in the hospital. She ended up missing I want to say a couple of days, 3 or 4 days from work.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, me being pretty close to her, I was concerned and everything. But after she came back, she looked good. She ended up telling me that I guess, over those 4 days she detoxed pretty well, and she kind of caught a, new sense into why she shouldn't do some drugs so much.
Okay.
And like I said, she looked good. She started looking healthy. So we kind of were talking, here and there. We hung out a couple times. She came over to the house, and we just kick back, drink a couple beers, watch movies, stuff like that.
Lee tries to maintain his composure as the detectives confront him about a minor detail. During the initial interview, Lee claimed he hadn't seen Savannah in a long time, but the CCTV footage shows otherwise, exposing his lie. After a couple of times Savannah brought drugs over, Lee confronted her, expressing his concern about her escalating drug use. Despite her initial improvement in appearance and health, Savannah's descent into heroin troubled Lee deeply, especially given his past experience with his mother's addiction struggles. The last encounter Lee had with Savannah was on a Wednesday afternoon. Fearing potential repercussions at work due to rumors spread by Savannah, Lee agreed to meet her in the Bonefish parking lot around 5:30 p.m.
After a couple of times, she brought drugs over. And I told her, I was like, you're doing really good. You can't, you shouldn't be doing it again. You're finally gaining weight. Because when we were together the first time, she was, she got really petite and just didn't look well. Which is kind of why I took a step back. Plus, my father used a lot of drugs growing up. My mother used a lot of drugs growing up. And it was just kind of a hard thing to see, every time that we hung out. Like I said, we did, we took some pain pills here and there on occasion, but then she started bringing heroin over and stuff like that. And that's, my mom was addicted to methamphetamines when she was, when I was younger. So.
And then the last time, when was the last time you saw her?
This is what I was a bit. I didn't tell you the truth when we talked up on Fish.
Okay.
Last time I saw her was Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
I heard that she has been basically telling a lot of people at work that we hooked up a bunch, a couple days before that, and that she was going to tell about the whole situation. Try to get me fired. And
why would that get you fired?
I'm a manager and she's an employee. So
okay, so you guys aren't supposed to fraternize?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And she just told people, I guess, that she was out with that work at the restaurant that we were having sex.
Okay.
And, hooking up and stuff like that, and that I was her boyfriend and this and that. So I was a little upset. Obviously, I care about my job.
Sure. How long have you been there now?
It'll be 5 years in the summer.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So I was a little upset. So I met her in the parking lot at Bonefish.
When was this?
Wednesday afternoon.
Okay. Well, do you know what time or about?
It was about 5.
Despite the incriminating factors surrounding Lee, the police find themselves in need of more concrete evidence to secure a conviction. Lee's association with Savannah, ownership of a vehicle resembling the one captured in the footage, and presence at the scene of her disappearance raise suspicion. However, what Lee doesn't know is that the police possess crucial footage of the incident, a piece of information that could significantly alter his approach if he were aware. Unaware of the damning evidence against him, Lee remains oblivious to the need for an alibi. Hagen privy to the existence of the footage, he might have been compelled to fabricate a plausible explanation for his whereabouts during the time of Savannah's disappearance. The lack of this critical information further complicates the investigation, leaving the police in a precarious position as they navigate the delicate balance between gathering evidence and confronting their prime suspect.
And I said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And she said, yeah, what's up? And I was like, I heard you've been saying some things about me and you continuing to hang out, and that we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And she asked me, she said, can I come sit in the car because I just did some and I'm a little paranoid.
Lee attempted to justify his actions, recounting his conversation with Savannah in the parking lot. According to him, Savannah had been spreading rumors about their relationship, prompting him to confront her. He refuted the allegations of Savannah's heroin use, emphasizing that they were never substantiated. Lee asserted that he urged Savannah to cease spreading falsehoods, even mentioning another individual, Rachel, who was with Savannah at the bar. However, despite Lee's attempts to rationalize his behavior, the detectives remained skeptical. They recognized the need for additional evidence to unravel the complexities of the case and bring clarity to Savannah's disappearance.
Coming to me and telling me that you're telling people when you're out that we're still having sex and we're boyfriend and girlfriend, and I said, I would appreciate, I need you to stop, because for one, it's jeopardizing my job. We agreed to, split, stop talking mutually and just move on, and, be cordial or whatever. But it was nothing more than that. And she said, I'm going to do what I want. You can believe what you want. I didn't tell anybody anything. And I told her, I said, the girl that you were out with told Chelsea that we were still having sex and that you were just at my house like yesterday and hanging out. And
the girl that she was out with when?
That Savannah was out with a couple nights prior.
Okay, gotcha.
I guess at one of the bars in Mandarin.
And who was that?
Bonefish. The girl that she was with, her name was Rachel. I don't really like Chelsea, and I said, well, look, you need to stop. Because for one, like I said, we agreed to go our separate ways, and it's jeopardizing my job, and it's making me really upset having to come into work, or talk to Chelsea, and she just constantly, badger me about stuff that you're saying that isn't true. And I told her that she needs to stop. At that point, I got out and I punctured the hole in the tire. And I said, no, stop. Like, I'm serious. I don't want to talk to you. It's not good for us, so let's stop. And she just said, why'd you do that? I said, well, I'm upset. I apologized after. I told her I would get her a new tire, and she said, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. And I said, she said she's gonna keep telling lies and stuff about me and everything like that. And I said, don't do it again, or next time it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be your windows. And at that point, she had her phone in her hand. She got out of the car and walked towards the main entrance from San Jose.
Lee continues to explain, trying to justify his actions. He tells the detectives how upset he was about the rumors Savannah was spreading, leading to a confrontation in the car where he punched the dashboard. But he claims he apologized afterward and warned her not to continue. Lee explains to the detectives how he confronted Savannah, telling her to stop her accusations. He recounts punching the dashboard in frustration and warning her of further consequences if she persisted. However, unbeknownst to Lee, his fabrications are only adding to the evidence against him, as the detectives carefully scrutinize his account. They are aware that Savannah never exited the car in the parking lot as Lee claimed, instead driving away with him shortly after entering the vehicle. The detective seeks clarification, emphasizing that Savannah never left the car and questioning Lee about her phone usage during their conversation. Lee hesitates before acknowledging that Savannah had her phone in hand, unsure if she was texting. He describes how a green truck appeared, prompting Savannah to get in, and estimates the time frame to be around 5 minutes between her departure from the car and the truck's arrival. Continuing their interrogation, the detective delves into the specifics of the timeline, prompting Lee to recall that Savannah seemed poised to make a call before the truck intervened. Despite Lee's attempts to provide a coherent narrative, the detectives are acutely aware of the inconsistencies in his story, further fueling their suspicions. As Lee continues his story, He believes he's exonerated because he didn't see Savannah last, but his lies are catching up with him. If he had stuck to the truth, he could have argued he took Savannah somewhere else and then broke up with her. But without knowing the evidence against him, Lee continues to make up lies, unaware that detectives can deceive and withhold information during questioning. He must call a lawyer.
She got out, and it looked like she was either texting or calling somebody.
Okay.
Because as she started walking towards there's an entrance to the plaza.
Okay. Yeah, it's closer towards 295? Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't say she was walking along the edge of the plaza, but she was walking maybe towards this way. And I would say an older model Ford pickup, green.
Okay.
Drove past me and around, and she got in.
Okay. So, while you guys were in the car together, you guys are talking back and forth. Is she calling somebody while you guys are talking back and forth on the phone?
She didn't call anybody, no.
Okay.
She had her phone in her hand.
Yeah.
But I don't think she texted anybody.
So she gets out of the car with you, and starts walking in this direction.
I was in the car.
You were in the car, but she got out.
Yeah.
And now you were in the front seat.
Yes.
So she gets out of the back seat and begins walking in the direction of, not necessarily paralleling San Jose, but she's walking towards 295 or down towards that entrance area.
Yeah.
And then she's got her phone, and you said you thought she was calling somebody?
She had it in her hand and looked like, I couldn't tell if she was texting or not or anything.
But she had her phone out.
Yeah, she had her phone out and was looking at it, and then it looked like she was going to put it up to her ear, and then the green truck came around.
Okay.
And
how long do you think it was between the time that she got out and started using her phone till that green truck pulled up?
Maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. So wow. So if she called somebody, they got there in 5 minutes to pick her up?
Well, like I said, it looked like she was going to call somebody, and that's when the green truck came around, and she got in.
Okay. So she's in the truck. What happened at that point?
They drove back around, kind of looped around a little bit.
Which way did they drive?
So she would say like here. The green truck comes here, and then kind of just loops around. And I guess they exited that way, and at that point I left.
Regardless of guilt, Lee finds himself at the mercy of the detectives' plans and strategies. But having a lawyer can make things easier. The police must share all their evidence to build a fair case. However, having a lawyer doesn't mean Lee can dodge questioning. Detectives can still turn it into a courtroom struggle. Despite his predicament, Lee has not yet sought legal counsel, inadvertently placing himself at a disadvantage in the interrogation room. If he possessed the intelligence he believed he had, he would have been more cautious about relinquishing this fundamental right. I've been struggling, Lee confesses, his admission hinting at the turmoil brewing beneath his composed exterior. And yes, I did use a knife. The detective probes further, seeking clarity. When did you use it? He inquires, prompting Lee to disclose the timeline of his actions. Sometime in July, Lee responds, his voice tinged with resignation. I was at work last night and ended up peeling a scab.
Self-inflicted, actually.
Why?
I just have been having kind of a hard time.
You're not?
I couldn't. Yeah, I did. And
what did you use?
a knife.
When did you do that?
Sometime in July.
You did that in July and it's still bloody?
Well, I kind of peeled the scab here and there at work, hitting it on stuff like that. I peeled it last night working. And it was coming off a little bit today, so I peeled that a little bit.
Alright, let me see.
But this was the same night. This one was just a lot worse.
Yeah.
Than this one was.
Okay. And that was in July?
Yeah.
Okay. Like a few weeks back?
Yeah.
Okay.
The detectives likely noticed the markings immediately, observing Lee's demeanor closely for any signs of discomfort or evasion. As they continued questioning him, Lee's behavior may have shifted subtly, betraying his inner turmoil. He might have fidgeted nervously, avoided making eye contact, or displayed other anxious behaviors as he grappled with the knowledge that his secret was no longer hidden. The pressure mounted as he struggled to maintain composure under the detective's scrutiny, knowing that any misstep could further incriminate him.
Could you see who the person in the truck was?
The truck had fairly tinted windows. I saw a baseball cap.
Yeah. Okay. You see a guy, girl, white, black?
I couldn't really tell if it was a guy or a girl.
Okay.
I just remember seeing the truck drive and her get in.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm sitting in front and the truck drives right past me.
Yeah.
And I saw a baseball cap through the passenger window.
Okay.
But
so did it seem like she knew the person?
I mean, she got right in.
Had you ever seen the truck before?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I come up and talk to you yesterday, I'm not threatening. I'm talking to everybody up there. What? Why?
Well, I freaked out, to be honest with you. I mean,
this girl's missing?
Yes.
Okay. But you know she's been missing. I mean, you knew from in essence from day one that she's missing, and you freaked out that you had to know.
I mean, obviously, I was the last one to see her, so I was a little bit scared at that.
How do you know you just said you weren't the last one to see her? You just said somebody in a truck.
Well, I mean, the last one to see her at Bonefish. Okay. The last one she's heard from.
Right.
I had contact with that anybody knows of.
Sure.
Lee feels the weight of the detective's gaze as they sit across from him. They likely noticed the marks on his body the moment he entered the room, but they waited until now to address it, heightening the tension. Lee's heart races, knowing that each moment brings him closer to revealing more than he intended. As they steer the conversation toward the truck Savannah allegedly got into, Lee struggles to recall details. He remembers the tinted windows and a baseball cap, but the driver's identity remains a mystery. It's like a puzzle, and Lee's trying to put the pieces together, but some are still missing.
Shuts. She never gets out of that car. And you drive off. She never gets out of that car. There is no green truck. And that's not right to her. We're fact finders, Lee. I don't have anything personal against you.
No, not at all. I mean, it's
we're
over.
just fact finders. We're just doing
Where
our
is she?
job. No. Where did you go with her? Where did you go with her, Lee? Be human. You're a human. You're a man. Where did you go with her? I know you're not that cruel inside. Seriously. Where did you go with her?
Maybe you don't know where she is now. Where did you go with her?
Please. I'm begging you, Lee. Please.
I don't know.
You do
Look,
that. Please, Lee. Just please don't make us do this any longer.
Yeah. For her family. Just tell us.
Can you just tell us?
Where did you go?
Where did you go with her then? Can you
at least tell us that?
At least tell us that part. Where did you go with her afterwards? She didn't get out of your car, and you know that obviously because I know that.
That's why she was hitting me. She wouldn't stop. I'd squeeze back.
Okay.
And she was just.
Was she under your arm or something, or?
She started hitting me. After I, slashed her tire. And we went back and forth, and we squeezed her.
You squeezed her around her neck or around her leg with your hands?
She had her hands around mine.
Okay.
Where is she now?
Please tell us.
You got the hardest part out. I understand that. You got the hardest part out.
Okay.
I left.
I know. You're doing good, buddy.
This pond on the west side. Club Duclay.
Club Duclay? Okay.
And Longchamp.
Yeah. Okay.
Finally, after intense questioning and mounting pressure, Lee Rader breaks down and confesses, revealing the chilling truth. West Side, Club Clay. It's a solemn admission that sends shivers down detectives' spines as they come to terms with the horrific fate of Savannah Gold. Lee's confession becomes a pivotal moment in the investigation, providing crucial closure to the search for Savannah. However, the revelation brings little solace as the grim reality of her fate sinks in. Following his confession, Lee Rader's fate is sealed in a courtroom, where he pleads guilty to the charge of second-degree murder. The judge, unmoved by his remorse or explanations, delivers a harsh sentence, 40 years behind bars. It's a sobering conclusion to a tragic case, a stark reminder of the irreversible consequences of one fateful decision. As Lee begins his lengthy incarceration, Savannah's memory lives on, her story serving as a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. If you liked our video, do hit up the like and subscribe. Stay tuned until our next video. Bye for now.